So give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your team insurer. I thought conservatives valued these things. I thought these are the principles that we all stand on. But now, when we have migrants escaping, fleeing from Venezuela, which has become a communist hellhole, we're now trying to shuffle them, treat them like ping pong balls. They come to us for asylum, for assistance. And we're like, hey, here, let's kick it to DC. Hey, off to Martha's Vineyard you go. Hey, ping pong, catch DeSantis. Off to Florida you go. Oh, return. We're going to return you up to Arizona. Oh, you go to California. This is pretty messed up. These are people. What's going on with this? This is not acceptable in any way.
It is totally acceptable because we were forced to accept it first by the people that are getting them now. So too bad. Take 'em all, take 'em all, take 'em all, bust 'em in, fly them in, just take all them in.
This is not even an answer to anything. This is the problem. Like, these are human beings, and shuffling them about. Listen, they come in at the border, they should get processed at the border, and asylum should be granted. I'm sorry, if you're coming from Venezuela at this point, absolutely you should be given the asylum. You should be given asylum. And of course we expect them to come into the country and work, right? We do expect that.
They
So
stopped being people as soon as they became criminals. They entered illegally and now they get shuffled around and they're going right back to the people that brought them in. So, no, they,
That's
they
that's incorrect though. They didn't enter illegally.
entered illegally,
They came to the border, and the fact that
super illegal.
we do have members of Congress putting them on planes and putting them on buses rather than arresting them and sending them back, it goes to show that this group that they're shuffling around actually are here legally.
They are illegals. The reason they don't send them back to their originating countries is because the people that are currently receiving all the immigrants were the ones that kept the borders open. So sending them back doesn't do anything because they just will walk right across all over again. So keep sending them over there, make it their problem so that they finally realize that they're destroying the nation, and then they go down there and they give some funds and they lock down the border like it should have been from the get-go. Because look at it this way, just from the most practical sense of being a politician where you're only concerned about yourself, you should want the borders closed, because as you're poking bears and dragons across the world, what's to stop them from sending some agents over to get rid of you if you're not keeping the borders secure? So just on that level alone, it's in their best interest to go ahead and lock down the borders. But if you really need to hit the message home, which apparently we do, because these people can't think more than one step ahead, then go ahead, send the people over there, show them the problem that they've created, and let them deal with the problem. Because look, as soon as they sent all the people over there, what did they do? They called it an emergency. It's a crisis. We need emergency funds and we need to start a new department to take care of these people. Which, by the way, they're just going to do what they always do. They're giving these people free everything that we don't get for free. We have to pay for. They're giving them housing and phone and medical care and education. So, and then they're asking them, hey, now that you're situated here, where would you like to go next? Right? They're just sort of trying to ask that question in a polite way, but really what they're hoping is like can you just go away now? And they're saying like, yeah, we'll go to places where we have relatives and everything. So what they're basically saying is they're not even the first round of illegals that have come in. Their family has already stepped over in the past few months, and they're just now being busted around, and they're hoping to find them.
Yes, but this is not an illegal immigrant. I'm
Illegal.
sorry. It's the same thing we say if someone from Cuba comes over here and they get on on our land, then they do get processed in, and they are allowed to stay because we keep saying America is the great country that's willing to help those in need. And
No,
you conservatives are holding these values.
no.
Now, Venezuela is a communist hellhole. They're fleeing it, they're asking for asylum. They aren't actually breaking in, as evidenced by the fact that they followed when we told them to get on the bus to get shuttled somewhere. So what we need them to do is get processed,
They're
and
following.
anywhere can process them. If they're actually attempting to obtain asylum and it is a valid request, then they should be getting it, and that is fine. So
No,
that is my
it's
point.
not a valid
They
request, and the only reason they follow is because they're already in the country and they think that they've already made it, and they're going to get all the free stuff that has been advertised that America gives to all the illegals. But no, bust them in, make it these politicians' problems so that they see what they've done to the rest of the country. And when the point has been made and the issue has been resolved, ship them out of here. Now with a closed border, they won't be able to hop back in. So yeah, send them over
What
there.
what do you mean ship them out of here? Where you've sent them now, they're literally just going to get processed, get benefits, and get their papers. They're here to stay now. What do you think's going to happen?
It's going to break
None of
the
these
system.
other they're gonna get their green cards, and then they're gonna go right out, and they may move right back to Texas if that's where their
Yeah,
family
whatever.
are.
They're going to get all that free stuff that isn't really free if you're a taxpayer. But the point is they need to keep shipping them over there because they have millions of them to choose from. So just keep sending them over there. They've already sent about 10,000 and break the system because there's only so much of free stuff that the government can give them before the government has already created hyperinflation and taxed the system. Because let's say there was unlimited money and it retained its value, there's still only a certain number of hospitals, doctors, vials of medicine, and even beyond that there's only so many jobs to do. There's only so much land to live on and farm off of. So you keep bringing all these people in and the problem becomes insurmountable. So, sure, do it. The government lets them in from the border. The border states ship them over to the government. The government sees firsthand how terrible the problem is, and they only have two options. At that point, either fix the problem and ship them out of here while closing the border, or let the system break down, in which case, it may not be so safe to walk around as a politician.